Witnessing death isn't easy. A few hours ago, I was at the hospital, and there's a child who's undergoing a very routine surgery. He's about 9 years old. Muslim family, they're all present. Chances of success of the surgery is 96% of success. But all of the uncles and the chachas and the tayas and the mamus, all of his siblings, he's the youngest of 5 children. They're all there making dua. The surgery length is supposed to be 18, 19 minutes. The surgery goes on for 2.5 hours. And the parents outside, and all of the uncles and all of the siblings, they become so restless that some of them inside the hospital are calling the police to find out what has happened to our brother, to our nephew, to our son. Lo and behold, the 4% of failure becomes more than the 96% of success. And when the doctors walk out of the operating theater, they say, "We are sorry, your son is no more." It is something to witness then what goes on through the minds and the hearts of the family members. Some go into denial. What do you mean he's no more? He was just playing. We get in the hospital, children, they get a PS4 to play with while they're waiting. He was just playing video games a few minutes ago, a few hours ago. Yesterday took him to the park. He was healthy and he was walking and he was running. And yesterday he was telling us how he wants to become a pilot. What do you mean he's no more? You're joking. Others crumble and they begin to cry. Some get angry and they begin to pound and they begin to shake and they begin to get aggressive with the doctors and the nurses. But it is next to impossible to fathom death for someone who is close to you. And yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Verily each soul must taste death. So on my way here, I was thinking, what must the hearts and minds of the members who stayed alive on the plains of Karbala, what must have gone on in their minds? What must have gone on in the mind of Hazrat Zainab, the sister of Hazrat Husayn alayhi salam, the same Zainab. We hear the stories that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam went into sujood, and from the Hujra Mubarak of Rasulullah out comes Hassan and out comes Husayn. There are also narrations that out comes Zainab. She also played on the back of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. So what must have gone on in her mind when the tents are put, 1,000 soldiers are outside, war, battle is imminent, martyrdom is guaranteed, and then Husayn alayhi salam, time for Asr, he goes to sleep. For a few moments, he wakes up and he has a huge smile on his face. Zainab alayhi salam comes up to her brother, "Ya Husayn, oh my dearest brother, oh member of the Ahlul Bayt, why are you so happy? Why are you so happy? 72, we are only 72. In front of us is 1,000. What possible thing could have happened?" He says, "In my dream, I just saw my grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, and he's told me, 'Ya Husayn, I am here for you.'" What protocol that Rasulullah has come down to take his grandson straight to Jannah. Husayn alayhi salam on the plains of Karbala did haqq by the ayah, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna. ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. Come back, O nafse mutma'inna, come back to your Rabb. Come back happy with your Rabb and your Rabb happy with you. Come and come into Jannah. He did haqq by this statement of Imam of the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zainul Abidin, on more than one occasion, he was crying and crying and crying and crying. And some of his servants, they come up to him and they say, Ya Sayyid, why do you cry so much? He says, Yaqub alayhi salam, when he lost his son Yusuf alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam, when he lost his son Yusuf alayhi salam, they found him. But he cried so much that he became blind. I saw members of the Ahlul Bayt martyred in front of me. And he begins to list. He says, I saw Abbas bin Ali. I saw Jafir bin Ali. I saw Muhammad bin Ali. I saw Usman bin Ali. I saw Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Jafir. I saw Abdul Rahman bin Muslim bin Aqil. I saw Awne Muhammad bin Jafir. I saw Qasim bin Hassan, Abu Bakr bin Hassan, Abdullah ibn Hassan, Ali Akbar ibn Husayn. I saw Abu Bakr ibn Husayn, Abdullah ibn Husayn, and Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salatu was salam in front of me. Why shall I not cry? Why shall I not cry? Imam Husayn alayhi salam, he comes out, the battle is waning. And all of a sudden he hears a cry, Ya Amma, oh my uncle, oh my uncle. Qasim bin Hassan has called. Hazrat Husayn alayhi salam runs to him. He says, oh my nephew. By the time he gets, a sword has been stabbed or a spear has been stabbed through him and he's on the ground. He comes, grabs his dearest nephew Qasim bin Hassan and he says, oh my nephew, do not worry. Soon we will be together with our grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. As he's consoling him here, all of a sudden he hears another cry, oh my father, oh my father. There is Ali al-Akbar ibn Husayn alayhi salam. It is said he is 19 years old and he looks extremely similar to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. He runs. What does he see? Both of his hands have been chopped off. And his ankles are rubbing in the sands of Karbala. Looks at him and he says, oh my son, do not worry. Our grandfather is here to take us to Jannah. What must have gone on in the spirit, in the heart and the mind of Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam. Remember, my dear brothers, in Ibn Majah it comes, one day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he's playing with Husayn ibn Ali. All of a sudden he hugs him tightly and he begins to cry. And he cries so much that his back begins to shake. His back begins to shake. Here is Mawla Ali alayhi salam in front of him. He says, Ya Rasulullah, what happened? Ya Rasulullah, you were just playing. What happened? He says, Jibreel has just come to me. And he says that a dog with black and white spots will lick the blood of the Ahlul Bayt. Will lick the blood of my children. So I am hugging my Ahlul Bayt, my Husayn tightly, because who would want to hurt the children of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam? Rasulullah is once walking through the streets of Medina. A Bedouin comes, and back then it was an ab. Even in the villages of Pakistan today, the fathers don't show love towards their children. They have a robe, they have a jalal, they have a disconnect. They want to show that they're the father. So this Bedouin sees Rasulullah. Husayn is on his left and Hassan is on the right shoulder of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. He comes up to him, Ya Rasulullah, you love them too this much? He says, I don't just love them, Allah loves them. And Allah loves those who love them. At another occasion, another Bedouin comes up. He notices Rasulullah. Again, Hassan on his right, Husayn on his left. He says, Ya Rasulullah, O children of Rasulullah, what great ride you have that you're riding Rasulullah. Rasulullah stops him. He says, no, what great riders I have. Yes, the ride is amazing, but check the riders as well. This is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This head of Husayn ibn Ali, 60 wounds are on the body of Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam. Shimr is in front of him. And he begins to threaten Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam. He says, come, let me show you death. So Husayn ibn Ali roars like a lion. Yesterday we went over the speech of Zayn al-Abidin. You don't think that the father of Zayn al-Abidin can speak as well? He looks at him. He says, Abil mawti tukhawwifuni? You make me fear death? Death is the meaning of meeting with my Rabb. Come. No one moves. Who will move in front of Husayn ibn Ali? Before this, I see some children here. There's an 11-year-old boy. His name is Amr ibn Junada. He's a tabi'een. His father has been martyred in front of his eyes in Karbala. He's been sent back to the woman to live with the children. Young child, 11 years old. Why would he fight? Why would he be martyred? He comes out after he's seen that his father has been martyred. He comes out. In some narrations it comes that he's carrying a sword that is taller than him. He's carrying a sword that is taller than him. And he comes to the field. Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam, he notices. He says to his brother Abbas, tell Amr ibn Junada he's a boy. Go back. So Abbas ibn Ali, he rides quickly towards where Amr ibn Junada, and he's dragging his sword because it's so big. He goes, the Sayyid Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam, he's told you, he's instructed you to go back. He grabs the kurta of Abbas ibn Ali. He says, let me speak with Husayn once. Let me speak to him. So noticing the conviction and the jazba of this boy, he takes Amr ibn Junada to Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam. He sees Amr ibn Junada. Remember, the battle is happening all around. He says, Oh Amr, did you not listen to the command of the Ahlul Bayt? He says, Ya Sayyidi, Ya Husayn alayhi salam, my father has been martyred upon you. And my mother has sent me with his sword to defend you with a message. We cannot live while the Ahlul Bayt fight. If the Ahlul Bayt fight, we fight to defend the blood of the Ahlul Bayt. And then he begins to speak. He says, Ya Husaynu Amiri wa ni'mal Amir. Husayn is my prince. And what a prince he is. And he's fighting. 11 years old. What is our 11-year-olds doing today? They're playing video games. They're too busy doing drugs. They have to try every new vape that's come out because that's the way of today. That's the fashion of today. The fashion of the past was defending the Ahlul Bayt. They had a reason to connect with Islam. Today they have a reason to connect with drugs. That is the reason why it is our responsibility as elders to show them the love of the Ahlul Bayt is a greater intoxicant than any drug that they can find. But how will they come to see that love and see that intoxicant when all of their friends are involved in the exact same thing as them? Amr ibn Junada, he grew up with the tabi'een, he grew up with the Sahaba, he grew up with the Ashiq of Rasulullah, the Ashiq of the Ahlul Bayt. Hazrat Husayn alayhi salam, he's hit, he's martyred. And there's a very weak narration, but I'll share it with you because I find it very beautiful. Before this, Ali al-Asghar, or in some narrations his name is Abdullah, he's 2 years old. Somebody throws an arrow, shoots an arrow, and it hits him in the vein. I think it's the jugular vein because a fountain of blood begins to shoot out. He takes the blood of his son, 2 years old, and he begins to play it, throw it up into the heavens. And he says to him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma sabbirna ala al-qadha. Oh Allah, give me sabr upon your decree. Oh Allah, give me sabr upon your decree. Oh Allah, give me sabr upon your decree. Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salam is martyred. His head. The head that Rasulullah used to kiss, used to hug, used to love, used to do the most amazing things with. They take his head, put it on a spear. Then they parade the woman of the Ahlul Bayt. Out comes Zainab ibn Ali. She sees this procession, this barat of blood in front of her. So she is also the daughter of Ali. She is also a member of the Ahlul Bayt. She's also a lion in her own right. So she says, Wa Muhammada, Wa Muhammada. And all of the Kufans around her are listening. Some of the Kufans, they say, when Zainab began to speak, we had spears with the Ahlul Bayt on them. We were forced to drop our spears in the pain with which she said, Wa Muhammada, Wa Muhammada. Sallu alayka ya Rasulallah, she says, may the salutations be upon you, ya Rasulallah. Hada Husayn bil ara, mudhammil al-dama, muqatti'ul adha, wa Muhammada, wa Muhammada, she says. She says, O Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, may the salutations of the angels and everyone be upon you. Here lies Husayn. Here lies Husayn. They're doing a procession with his own blood. He's wearing a necklace of his own limbs. Here lies Husayn. Wa Muhammada, Wa Muhammada, she says. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.